Hey guys, welcome back to Aqua Az. This week's a bit different than my usual videos that are sort of set and have sort of music parodies involved, and we have a sort of set scheme of what we're talking about. This one's a bit more off the cuff. I wanted to talk about the hobby, sort of how I went from fish keeping into fish tubing in a way. I've always kept fish, always enjoyed fish. These are probably the most amount of tanks I've had at once at the moment. Still sitting there with the fifth that we will get into later. And how I rolled into fish tubing from a hobby. So it's sort of a hobby within a hobby, I guess, and it means so much to me. I thoroughly enjoy it. As I've said previously, I do work full-time, so I get videos out when I can. I try to do them weekly. I don't really have set days. It's sort of the way my work works with shifts. It's sort of a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday sort of upload days when I can. I get every second Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, so that's pretty cool. That gives me time, and then I only get 2 off the Thursday, the Wednesday, Thursday on the following week. So I try and get 2 videos pretty much done on the 5, and then upload the second video on the 2, which gives me time. But anyway, it's sort of off topic. How I started fish tubing, I guess, I've always looked at it and always wanted to do it, been super, not so much scared, but just worried that I mightn't put out anything that people would enjoy. Always used to watch, you know, your bigger guys, your Kings of DIY, Corey from Aquarium Co-op, all those sort of guys, Rachel O'Leary. Never really noticed how good the Australian fish community was until I really started looking and come across Aquamate. Was probably the first Australian channel I ever seen. Shout out to Josh, you're amazing. Then that rolled into Blake, who's also awesome and supported me heaps, which rolled into Rumble, and then it kept going. So really amazed. In saying that, what a community. I never thought that it would be like this. With all the support, I love the Fish Fam and everyone involved. A lot of support from the Australian guys, which has now rolled into overseas fish keepers, and the amazing world that has opened up because of it, and the amazing people you get to talk to and hopefully one day meet. I come from a small state in Australia, surrounded by water actually, little Tassie down the bottom. My overseas viewers, you have older maps, were probably left off it. You probably would see now that little island just underneath mainland Australia. Have travelled through Australia but never been overseas, so it's pretty awesome to talk to people from overseas, and especially about a hobby that I love. So when I first started, family and friends were a massive support. I have a lot of viewers that don't actually have Google accounts. They go onto my Facebook page and watch weekly. I thank you so much for that. You've been the best support in starting this awesome hobby that I have. As I said, that led into Aquamate, Blake, Rumble, Perth Cichlids, these guys, all the Australian guys on from there, who have just been added support in the Fish Fam community. Links in the description below to their channels for all my friends who don't or may not have Google accounts but want to see these guys. Go for it. Go into the description. below, just click and it'll drop down and you'll be able to see all those guys' links. So what is fish tubing to me? It's a hobby within a hobby that I love so much. It's a chance to talk to other hobbyists about everything aquarium related. I'm by no means an expert in any field, but there's a lot of people that have a lot of knowledge that you can learn from. There's a great camaraderie between everyone. I don't find any negativity when it comes to the Fish Fam on YouTube. Everyone's great, very supportive, open to share their opinions, create some great content that's awesome to watch. Great live streams, which is something I'm a little bit hesitant on. Still learning my way around editing software and making videos themselves. Maybe one day soon I might look at the live stream aspect of things. It is a little bit daunting when you haven't done it before. Like in this video, I can cut and redo and do-overs where you can't so much on live streams. You're on the spot, so it is a little bit daunting. I take my hat off to everyone who does them. They do an amazing job and I love watching them. Best place to talk to people live and have fun at the same time. Thoroughly enjoyable. I don't have the full setup to start live streaming at this stage, but maybe one day in the future. To be honest, OBS I haven't looked at much, but it's another whole program I have to get used to. So until I'm a bit more confident with the programs, I don't think I'll go just yet and pull that trigger, but hey, maybe one day. Another question I get asked a lot is what do I use? I didn't want this to be more a tech video. This was more of a what fish tubing means to me, but I do get a lot of questions about what camera I use and different things I use. To be honest, I research a lot, and nothing I really own is going to cost you a fortune. Jeddah was lovely enough when we were over at the Underwater Pet Expo on a holiday in Melbourne, that we went to a camera shop, and she was nice enough to buy me a present, which was the Canon M50 that I film on now, which I'm so grateful for. And I just run a Rode mic on the top, so pretty basic. I think it's the $100 shotgun mic, does the job for me. So yeah, that's pretty much that in a nutshell. And just I think it was a $25 tripod from Big W, which is just a big, what'd you say, convenience store, I guess. So here we are, guys. The back room of the house. This is actually a spare room that I've sort of set up. You would have seen a lot in my videos, just as a intro outro style setting for the videos. Everyone also asks what I sort of use here, so I'll go through and show you what it actually looks like behind the camera. I guess it's sort of a behind the scenes style thing, I guess. But you'll see it's not as clean as it may look on the camera. So we'll go first and look at the lights I use at the back. These are just basic LED torches that I put behind photos, and one of them's actually a light that I brought in the kit. It's like 30 bucks on eBay. Come with a sort of gimbal style handheld and the light on top. Super cost effective. By no means any of my gear top end or high end, but love it and works all the same, and I think it looks okay for what I do. On the bookshelf, that was a shelf we used to have in the main room, actually where the 40 litre and 60 litre tank was, used to sit on that wall. Been brought into the back room, so I've used that as a backdrop. A photo that I've taken, an oil painting that I've taken from the main room of the house. Used to be in the living room, now I've brought it back here and put it on the door to just give it a bit more of a feel, and I try and sort of sit myself in between both while shooting it. On the bookshelf, I just got things like Western Bulldogs, Go the Dogs, memorabilia. I think Gene Siracusa and Bob Murphy have signed those footy boots, so pretty wrapped with that. And then just a lot of other things. Wave ornament I got in Esperance while I was over there in WA. Some Jettas, what would you say, castings, some camera gear down the bottom, just old Fuji that we used to use, one lens, what else we got, and a few other bits and bobs, ornaments and things to fill the space. I just try and use things that we enjoy behind us on the shelves, and that changes through the videos, as you'll see. Then we'll go to the lighting. So the lighting Jetta actually bought for my birthday, which I was super stoked with. Exact price, not sure, you'd have to look on eBay, but these come as a set. I used to run with just a work light, which was the yellow ones. I can't remember, halogen I think they are, I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on that. That's why the original videos it looked more sort of orange than it did clear like now. These lights come as a package, super stoked. I'll run a, what do you call them, I can't even remember what they're called. The light, sort of, not a diffuser, but I do have one behind there that I can use to diffuse the light to if it gets too bright. That was mainly used with the halogen. And then have the the blanket that can cut out even more light that I'm hanging on a clothes horse of all things. So there you go, I'm just using what I can. These clips, super handy. And as you can see, everything else behind the camera is yeah, it's not all what it's made out to be. So guys, thank you so much for putting up with my rant, but I can't thank everyone enough. I love the fish fam. I love the hobby within a hobby. Thoroughly enjoyable. Thank you to everyone for all your support. Stick around next week because we're going to keep going down this track, and I'll have an interview with Jetta herself, just a quick one, and see what it's like to be the partner of a fish tuber and fish keeper. So this one will be interesting, and we'll see what she has to say. If you like this video, guys, give it a thumbs up. Always supports me. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Catch ya.